Hey everybody, thank you for joining us today. This is the Etherparty Ask Me Anything. I'm joined today, well actually, let me introduce myself first. I'm Kaegan, I'm in charge of customer happiness and community here at Etherparty. I'm joined today by Brandon.
Yep, and so I'm the creative director at Etherparty, so overseeing the strategic and execution portions of marketing communications for the company.
And I'm Erynn Tomlinson, the VP of Product, overseeing development, design, and pretty much the operations of the product and our newest product, Rocket, launching in spring, as you've heard.
So the plan for today is I'm going to be acting a little bit as the moderator. I'm going to be pushing questions to these guys. They're going to give you answers. If at any point in the MA you have another question, please put it in our Telegram group, and Nick will field those to us as well. Should we jump right in, guys?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Let me pull up the first question. So first questions come from a devoted community member, Cryptomaniac. Thank you for submitting these. First question, are there more than 3 ICOs coming to Rocket?
Yes, there are. That's the short answer. I know that we have, we've shown 3 particular ICOs on our new website launch, and that might be what this question speaks to.
I think so, yeah.
Also, we have another contest, we have a contest out right now looking for 3 ICOs that want to launch on Rocket, that we're going to reward a free ICO creation to those 3. So we have that, so that's I think where the number is coming from, one of those. But besides that, we actually have more companies internally that we're working with, mostly through the Vanbex group that will launch. And through that contest, we've had several more companies come through that we're talking to. And we're looking forward to a really good launch, really solid launch with plenty of ICOs coming through Rocket.
Awesome. And I think we're going to look to the community as well to help bring in some of those leads and to find us more companies that are looking to launch a crowdfund. So that'll be great. Great, thank you. Next question. How much will it cost to run an ICO on Rocket?
Another good question. So the current price point for Rocket, and this is based on looking at everything else that is out there and our product being a real end-to-end platform, including customer success support to help you through the whole process. So the current price point is $100,000. The first, we haven't decided on the exact number, but some of those are going to come through at $50,000 in the beginning, and then we will go from there.
Awesome. I think we're also going to look to add additional services as well. So $100,000 is the base price point. We'd like to add other stuff on top of that through our relationship with Vanbex. So,
good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
All right, next question from the community. Do you have a more precise date for the Rocket release?
That's a good one.
And they put in brackets, not in 2 months. So we can't answer this question with 2 months.
Not in 2 months, okay.
We could say 1 month twice. That's
okay,
fine.
So 60 days is the answer. No, I'm just kidding. It's software development, so as you know, the best we can do is look at our current workload, estimate those tasks, and come up with a best estimate in terms of when that's going to be ready. With that information, we're currently looking at this spring. I'm sure that's not better than telling you 2 months, but that's what I got for you. It is getting really close. We do have, we're getting really close to be able to show you more of what's actually in development. Yeah, so I hope that answer helps you out a little bit.
Great. And you guys might get a sneak peek of some of the stuff we're working on today, so stay tuned for that. Next question. Are you planning to be listed on other exchanges? Brandon, you want to answer that?
I can tackle that one.
Great.
Yeah, so really we're not facilitating that for the fuel token. The reason being is that the fuel token is a utility token classified as such. So any of those tokens that are out there on the secondary market are considered securities. We are discussing this particular item with the BCSC as well as with the legal team internally. And we'll just kind of gauge it, I guess, as the months proceed and the regulatory environment kind of clears up. But right now, yeah, we're not facilitating the fuel token to be on any of the exchanges. That's really up to the community.
Good answer. Great. Okay, so next question comes from Nikolai, and he asks, could you demonstrate some prototypes and or mock-ups of upcoming products? And indeed, we can do that. And I'm actually going to switch places here. I'm going to bring in Nick, who's head of design, and he's going to show you guys a few little mock-ups. So.
See Nick lurking outside.
Yeah.
There he is. There he is.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Nick.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. So hi, I'm Nick, head of design at Etherparty and helping out Rocket as well. Hopefully what you're looking at is some screenshots, a screenshot of the Rocket homepage. Not yet, there it is. Great. So this is what you're going to see when you land on the Rocket homepage. We've taken a really human design to this. We want people to kind of understand that we're taking the difficulty out of blockchain and really making this something that is easy to use and also nice to look at, I hope. Moving forward, once you log in to Rocket and you start down the funnel, down the flow of making this crowdfund, you're going to see the purchase crowdfund page. And what we're actually going to be doing is starting with coin payments. We're going to be launching with coin payments. And you'll be able to pay with blockchain, Ethereum, and of course our own token, Fuel. And that's the screen you're looking at right here, right now. Again, like really trying to take the complexity out of this. You can see it's on your mobile as well. We really want to make it simple and obvious as to what you're doing, what step you're on, where in the process you are. As after you've paid and you've started building out your crowdfund, we've kind of done everything for you. We've done all the steps for you. You don't have to think about it too much. You're thinking about building your company, thinking about your crowdfund, thinking about what's next. You don't want to have to build out smart contracts yourself. It's expensive. It's hard. That's the whole purpose behind Rocket. So once you land on a page like this, create your digital token, we've thought about all the stuff you need to do to create your digital token and put that in the interface. So you'll be able to follow these steps easily and create your crowdfund really, really simply. And once you've created that really simple crowdfund, what you're going to get is a landing page where people can come and visit your crowdfund, see the part of the team, see the description, see the name of the coin, see everything that needs to be seen with your crowdfund, and then of course contribute to it. So with all that, we're working hard over here and trying to design things as simple as we can.
I think I would just add that what you're seeing here is the design of version 1. So this isn't like a prototype, it's not a demo, this is actually what you're going to get live. Further than this, we already have started development on additional features that will be released some point after this first release. Fair to say?
Fair to say.
Cool.
Totally.
Perfect.
That's it for me.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks.
All right. So that's exciting. I think this is the first time we've shown some of that stuff externally. So I'm really excited to hear what the community has to say about that. So let's jump into the next question. This one I think is more towards me. Do you plan to launch an affiliate program, i.e. referral marketing, in order to promote the product? Short answer, yes. Long answer, well, it's not all that long. More details to come on that. But ultimately, we want to give folks in the community an opportunity to help refer companies to Rocket, and we want to reward those folks in turn. So we'll keep you posted on that.
Excellent.
Cool. Next question. When are you going to start mass promotion, and what marketing channels are in the plan?
That's
I feel
definitely
like
my one.
That's you.
That's
Yeah,
me.
that's the word marketing, the big M.
Yeah, so mass promotion, I mean, that's a great thing. It's tough for our space because it's such a niche item. So our focus is more so on the end of targeting our marketing to specific channels. We know that social media, Reddit, Telegram, those forums are really, really important for us to be on. But we also recognize that for our product Rocket, most of those consumers or the users of that product, they may not live or exist on those channels. So what we're doing right now is really diving into the research phase of things, identifying where our consumers are going to lie, and then targeting our marketing to the appropriate channels. Mass promotion may or may not be part of that for the short term. It definitely will be part of it in the long term. But right now we're really focusing in on channeling our resources appropriately and hitting the ground running with marketing in the appropriate places. And there's a second part to that question, I believe. And the marketing, the marketing channels. So I did touch on that. So we're focusing in on those crypto-specific channels, Telegram, Reddit, Bitcoin Talk, as well as social media, so the Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Those are really, really important for us, and we know that our community does exist there, so we're also going to continue along that path. But the biggest thing for us is going to be that website, which we recently actually launched it with revamped messaging. And then also an email marketing campaign is going to be launching very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's really a brief overview of the channels that we'll be targeting and the mass promotion side of things.
Excellent. Also, in case folks aren't aware, we've done a ton of hiring the marketing side. We've got somebody coming on to do social media full-time.
Correct.
Brandon, you've got a marketing manager working with you as well.
Correct, yes.
I'm doing some marketing stuff as well, just sort of on the side. So we're really putting a lot of human power into these initiatives.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Great.
Next question. What about adoption worldwide? Is it not in Canada only?
Right.
Do you have any specific plans and dates?
Great question. So, I mean, we are in a global market. We know that. We know ICOs exist around the world. Right now, our base is in North America, Canada specifically, because that's where we are. But we are trying to look at other markets to target. We know China's a very, very big one. We see a lot of traffic coming through there. So that is an avenue that we are pursuing. Same thing with some European markets as well. We haven't locked down specifics when it comes to the country and the cities specifically, but we are targeting some international markets. So kind of stay tuned for some updates in relation to that.
Cool. And I think at launch too, we're going to have the website localized as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, so we're localizing the language. The main one's going to be Chinese, but we are exploring other Asian markets, mainly South Korea, and also the Japanese markets. But stay tuned again for that. And yeah, launch is upcoming, so you'll know soon.
So at launch, I think North America, Europe, Australia, China,
I think
and then everything else to follow.
Yeah, correct.
Awesome. So this is a big question. How will you separate a security token and a utility token with your offering? I think, Erynn, you're going to field this one.
That's a very good question. We've been talking about that a lot. So technically in our platform, you can create either utility or a security token. But depending on where you're located, there are jurisdictional rules around what you need to do to properly set up a security. So while our platform offers what you need as a start, you really need to do your due diligence, talk to your legal team, understand what's needed in your area to really produce a security token. The version of Rocket that we're releasing first is simplified and kind of ready to go for utilities. And then we will be adding additional functionality in further updates that really automate and streamline the creation of security tokens.
Gotcha. So, yeah, great answer. So there's more to come there. I think the other thing to point out too is that the space is changing a lot. Regulations are changing day to day in some cases. We're staying on top of those things. And we really want to make sure
I'll touch on another item.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really important to kind of what Erynn was discussing when it comes to understanding the regulations for your jurisdiction. So that's where your crowd sale is going to be launched from or incorporated in. Those rules and regulations may not necessarily apply to also the markets that you're trying to target for your digital token and where it's going to be sold. So that's really something to be very, very careful of and to consult your legal team.
Perfect. Next question. Will you be announcing the new name change the same time that you announce the winner of the rebranding contest? So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So first of all, thank you to everybody in the community for your submissions. I think we received something like 1,000 to 1,500 different names from the community, which is just incredible. That's more than we could have possibly imagined. Consequently, it has made a lot more work for us, and we're still in the process of going through those names and making sure that we find the right one. And once we find the right name, we need to lock down domain names, social media accounts, all of those sorts of things. That being said, though, we want to say thanks to the community for their participation. So we're actually going to send out 250 fuel tokens to 10 people who submitted names that we really liked, but are not going to go ahead with. So Nick is going to coordinate that today. And once we have the name all locked down, we'll announce that and we'll send out the grand prize. Anything you want to add there, or is that, yeah?
I think that's good.
Good.
Good, good. So stay tuned on that front. Lots of stuff happening there. Question here from Jeffrey. All contracts, ICO creations, etc. will be used with fuel being pegged to the US dollar. What if in the future the US dollar won't be the go-to fiat? Have you guys thought about pegging it to something else? That's a big question. I think if the world economy turns upside down in the next couple of days or something like that, and all of a sudden we're pegging everything to euros, we would absolutely follow suit. I don't think anybody anticipates another currency taking over the US dollar in the near future, however. But if it did happen, we would go where's needed.
Yeah, not a difficult pivot.
Nope, not at all. Next question. We've seen Hero and Saturn as the next products in line. Well,
Where will?
Where will the main focus be after the Rocket release?
Oh, that's a good question. So what you guys aren't seeing is, even though we've been talking a lot about Rocket and that impending launch, we are already actively working on the next pillars of Etherparty. So you saw Hero, you saw Saturn supply chain. We're currently in the research and design phases of those, as well as R&D and development. So when we launch Rocket, it won't be that we necessarily switch focus to the new ones, more so that those other teams continue to grow and ramp up. So those are our next focus. So you kind of answered the question in your question, I think. Our next focus is Hero and Saturn, so charitable giving platform, supply chain. And as well, something to mention is we're currently building up our R&D team, internally calling it labs, where we are also focusing on proof of concept and research in other pillars. So for example, legal contracts for everyday needs, services for small business, areas like this. So I would say our next focus after Rocket, Hero, supply chain will be in some of these new areas.
For sure. I think it's safe to say that we're just trying to keep our ear to the ground, and if the market starts to move in a particular direction or we identify a new need, we want to be quick and jump on that.
Fair.
So, great. Okay. By the way, guys, if you have any other questions, please submit them either in the Telegram or in the YouTube comments, and we'll make sure to get to those. Next question. Can we develop a process update page similar to what Cosmos has? See picture below. It is very difficult to track EP's progress. Can we share screen for a minute just so we can show this? Showing? Okay. So this is a really great idea. I think we're going to try and do something like this. I'll say that we do this internally. So we have a project management tool where we have a bunch of tasks, and as tasks get completed, we can see how far along we are. But I think we'd like to do something like this externally as well. On that related note, we also have an updated white paper coming out in the next few days, either towards the end of the week or early next week, I think, that's going to focus on Rocket. So we want to give you guys a ton more information on where we're at with that product. So that's kind of exciting.
Yep, sounds good.
Cool.
I liked that suggestion.
Yeah, that was a great suggestion. Okay. I believe smart contracts composed with Etherparty will be executed in Etherparty application only, not on EHT's mainnet. Please confirm.
Yeah, so I can touch on that one. I mean, it's a very development-focused question. But the contracts that are being created will be compatible with the blockchain that you would be selecting. So at launch, that's going to be the Ethereum blockchain, and via rootstock, the Bitcoin blockchain. So they'll be actually executed on those mainnet networks, so either Bitcoin or Ethereum's. We don't have our own blockchain here.
Perfect. Okay. That was actually the last of the questions that we had for the
Wow,
community. Yeah, we just
quick.
steamrolled through those, guys.
Wow.
Excellent. Well done. Let me just check real quick to see if we've had any other questions come in. Oh, so just to clarify, there were people who were asking, like, Rocket is not the new name for Etherparty. That hasn't been announced yet.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So
Good point.
Rocket is not the new name. Rocket is the name of the first product that Etherparty is releasing.
So I'd like to talk about that just for a second.
Great.
So the early communications or iterations around Etherparty was Etherparty as a product. We went forward with development and exploration and design, and we very quickly realized that Etherparty was multiple products with multiple different use cases that are specific to specific audiences. And for those to be successful and useful, we needed to make sure that we were designing those in a more focused way and getting the right message to those subgroups. So Rocket is kind of what happened from there, where we looked at Etherparty and we said, okay, what's the first thing we're launching? And it's this ICO creator. And so we took the ICO creator, we kind of packaged it up, we named it Rocket, that's the product name. It lives on the platform Etherparty. So now when we talk about Etherparty, we're talking about Etherparty more as a technology platform and a development team, a blockchain development team. So Etherparty is us, it's the platform. Rocket is the first product we're launching on Etherparty. Hero and Saturn are the next products, the ones that are currently in development, and then there will be more products to come. Great question.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think the way to look at it is we sort of see a future where we are selling products to people who don't even know what blockchain is, right? And I think the path to getting there is to create really, really isolated or very narrow products that target those people. We got one more question from the community here. This is a big one. Where do you guys want to be in 2019?
That's a fantastic question.
Oh my God. Okay, so personally, like why I was really excited about coming to this company is the opportunity to bring blockchain to the mainstream. So I was a web developer in the mid-90s, And I see the same thing happening again, where there's this amazing technology that has great opportunities to, I know it sounds cliche, but change the world. And what's really missing is abstracting the complexities of that technology and making it available, the benefits of that technology available to the masses. And so where I see us is I see us as one of these dominant movers in the adoption of blockchain and bringing real value that really changes the world. I know it sounds fluffy, but that's what I believe in.
Yeah, it's all about accessibility and inclusion. And that's kind of the whole idea behind also shifting from what we were originally looking at as the smart contract library into those end-to-end package solutions. So anybody can come to this and launch the solution or the crowd fund on their own without much need for anybody else, mainly developers.
Yeah. Ultimately, people need to raise money, right? So, having them have to learn a whole programming language one time to do that smart contract the one time is not a good use of resources, right? So we're going to come in and take care of that for them.
That's right.
Cool.
Any more?
I think that's it. I'll give you guys one more chance here. Any more questions? All right, that's it then.
Wow, that's good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
so much. We hope to do these AMAs, at least once a month going forward. If there's anything else that you'd like us to talk about in future AMAs, please let me know. We're doing this for you guys, so tell us what you want.
Absolutely.
Great.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.